Hey friends, so with this, we have our next speaker, Lingaraj Benny. Hello Lingaraj, how are you doing? You are on mute, sir.
As usual, the simplest mistake what we do. I was on
No.
mute. Sorry. Thank you for having me here, and thanks for arranging all of this, Kunal. That's
So,
super cool.
so thank you so much, Lingaraj. The stage is all yours. I'm going to share your presentation also. So yes, with
Okay,
this, we are
nice,
good to go.
super. I might need a screen access, Kunal, to show some of the Azure AI Foundry stuff in the later stage.
Yes, share the screen. I'll just do it.
So, hi all. Thank you for joining us today on India MCT Marathon and loving us. Yeah, that's really incredible thing, what one can have, and being a part of it, it amazes me for sure. So I'm Lingaraj Benny. I also work as a Microsoft practice head at Move8, but I'm a passionate trainer, mentor, and architect. I usually contribute at communities and some ways or which I'll try to be part of Microsoft and tech gig stuff always. So as you all know, today we are going to speak about something on the design patterns. But yes, it's related to AI for sure because that's what is trending at the moment, and that's what we will be doing, and we will be countering that aspect today. So, what is design patterns? And before I head on to the next slide and the subsequent slides, I would like to talk about a bit. If you design or if you want to build something, be it anything, not on just some technology, be it anything, it's important for us to have a design, right? A pattern, what exactly I'm going to build. It could be home, it could be on a machine, it could be on a software. So similarly, within AI, we have got some of the design patterns. Like, we use RAG or a grounding. Neeraj was talking about it. Himanshu was talking about it in the first session, where different models are existing at the moment, and we correlate or coexist with the different aspects in the industry. When it comes to reality and when it comes to enterprise, we certainly cannot have a monolithic way of approach for anything we build. So it could be an inclusive mode. We have to be more diversified in terms of tech when we actually start building something. So today we are going to talk more on the design patterns. And before we talk about it, let's understand some tech gig behind AI so that we our all of us will be on the same path to understand what design is really helpful for us to do. Okay, so basic question, the nutshell: what is AI? What exactly the AI is all about, right? So AI is something like we talk about machine learning as a base, and then on top of it we have got generative AI, agents, NL, that's a natural language, computer vision, or the information extraction, right? Mostly these are the things we actually talk about, or that's AI. And today's focus for all of us is agents and automation. What are agents? When we talk about agents, there was a session earlier. The agents are nothing but a small chunk of programs which could really help you to automate the things, right? So, but it's AI oriented or AI based agents which will really help you to do many things efficiently, more effectively. So, let's start with an agent. Okay, let's understand what is an agent in terms of Microsoft world. Okay, the AI agent development on Azure is what I have written there. But yes, but we'll talk about what are AI agents, and then we'll talk about how we can build one, right? So, as I said to you, it's a program in a nutshell or the layman terms, which should really help you to build something, right? The smart software services, what we call. So if you look at my screen now, we have got multiple steps having something which is being getting done, right? For example, we have got generative AI models, we have got contextual AI models and the tools to automate the tasks. Example, in a real world, it could be your Power Automate, it could be Power Apps, it could be a Copilot agent, which could really talk to each other and do something for you. And probably there could be human in between, right? So these are the discussion points for today when we talk about agents. So on the screen, it says that it's a process, right? It's a process where it really looks into the idea and goes into the agent prompting, and then the things really do the ground to the prompt, like reconceptualize, ensure that it is remade for AI stuff to, like, LLM to understand, so that you get a right answer or the best answer, and you will get the best response after the grounding is done and the modeling is done. So now, when we have got, sorry, I have got a throat infection, so I'm a little low on the speak, but yes, um, sometimes it goes up and come. Okay, so based on the response of a LLM, the agent will submit the claims, processes and all the stuff. So this is an expense claim agent, which actually really working on the screen. So having said that, this is a process. This is a process which we are talking, and we are also trying to understand what exactly is available here. So when it comes to development of something, right? When it comes to development of something, we depend on something which is that is the backend tools. It could be platform, it could be our LLMs, right? It could be a wrapper which you would like to use on top of your LLM, which you're going to build on. So here in our case with the Microsoft, we have got multiple options. Like we have got AI Foundry, we have got Assistance API, like Agent Framework exists, which we have to depend on for sure, and we have got AutoGen. Okay, it's a framework. Actually, AutoGen is a framework where it's a rapid agent development uh, framework, open source, which we have. Plus, we usually use the agent SDK from 365 and the Copilot Studio and the agent builder for sure. So agent builder, I guess you saw the agent builder in the first session when Neeraj and Himanshu were presenting. The similar agent builder we would be using. So now coming back to the story of what we have got as an option for agent development, here is the Azure AI. So Azure AI Foundry, I would have written Azure AI Foundry there, but this is an Azure AI Foundry services. Like, this is a focus for today. So Azure AI Foundry provides a platform for agent development. So which in where, help us to do a project-based resource management and the model catalogs. Okay. And also it help us to visualize the agent design and also do a playground. Okay. That's a playground where we can test in the portal, on the portal. I'll show you that today. Okay, from building the space or the resources of the AI Foundry and how you can really conceptualize and visualize everything in terms of AI agent. It's a basic stuff, but yes, basic is also required. That's what we can cover in 30 minutes, right? So that being said, let's jump on to the next slide. The components of AI or components of an agent or the AI agent usually hooks up to what? So the model and the tools, right? So the model is a base, and the tools are really needed, right? Agent should really work on some automation or something, right? So you could be, it has to have an access to the search, maybe Bing search, right? So all of that information should be there. The web part I'm talking about. An automation task, it could be running a Power Automate task, it could be Outlook and sending an email and all the stuff in your process of agent, right? So that aspect, you should also have a model which really can help you to generate real-time actions which are required for the process to complete. So agent needs these two aspects. Always remember the model and the tools. Model could be generative AI language models, And using Azure AI Foundry, we can deploy one of them. There are model catalogs. So you have got Meta models there. You have got all like Microsoft models there. So you can pick one, whichever is comfortably available or you are comfortable building on. And it also depends on the design patterns, which we will talk later. The design patterns really define which model is required for you and how it can be really helpful to you. So now coming back to the components of an agent, yes, it is very important to remember all these two aspects, but you should also remember how we can create it. So you understood the base, and now creating an agent in Azure AI Foundry portal. So let's hook up to Azure portal and see how we can create an basics of Azure AI Foundry, so that we can see something getting deployed also there. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm just sharing my screen here. Oh, Kunal, can I get a help here to share my screen, because
Yes.
the screen is not visible. I guess I don't have an access.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Okay, let's do from beginning. Let's open. This is a portal. This is Azure portal we generally have and generally use to log in. Give me so once we log into the portal, it usually looks like this. Okay, we can go back to the main screen, the home screen, or we can click on here, the same home screen. So create a Foundry resource. So you can create your own Foundry resource where on top of it, you can build your own agents and the playgrounds and everything. I can use the existing one which was created here, but let me show you how to create a Foundry resource, so which will really help you to understand. This is my subscription, and I'm going to use the same resource group. I will just name that as test AI MCT or MCT. Yeah, that's fine. Location region, I'm fine with the East US. In the context of the time, I'm not going to select anything which is custom. I'll go with the defaults. So let's see how it can build a Foundry resource for us. Okay, so I'm just creating a Foundry resource. It's live on Azure portal, which could certainly help us to understand how it can be deployed. So once it is deployed, okay, once it is deployed, this is going to look like this. Let's see that. It doesn't take much time. It usually gets deployed in a minute, not minutes, a minute. So that being said, I'll show you that how it looks like. So once it is created, I'll show you how it is created. But once it is created, the same window will get into the part. Remember, I was talking about the agents which were needed of the model and tools, right? So there are models which we have got. The moment I clicked on agents on AI Foundry page, it gave me the list of models I have got here. Like I said, we have got Meta here, like Lima, and and we have got GPTs, a lot of GPTs, right? Let me use the GPT-5 mini. I'll just confirm that. Okay, you can see here deployment name, deployment type. Okay, so I'll just say deploy. I'm just creating an agent using GPT-5 mini, and that's on my AI Foundry. Look at this. We created the one, so it goes to the same page where I'm creating an agent, so similar page, not the same page, a similar portal. You can see here, the moment I click on AI Foundry, it brings me here. Okay. So let's not, so this is the first project what I have got with it, and I can play around. You can see here, first project. So this is test AI Benny and test AI MCT. So we have got there. So this is an agent which is readily available. You can see here. Let me give, please act as assistant to Microsoft certified. I'm just giving a okay, Grammarly is correcting the things here. Okay. Help them build a right course materials for AI trainings. I'm sorry, typed in twice. Okay, so it's okay. Oh man. So I'm also giving in a description here what agent can do here, but it's not really necessary. I'm not uploading any knowledge for this. So knowledge is really good. If you use the knowledge, it's kind of like a grounding. It acts as a grounding to any of the agent which you're creating, and it's also act as a guardrail at point in time, with the instructions, with the right knowledge. It act as a guardrail for your agent to work in the right way. Okay, so we can also go to voice live playground, or I can just be here. Okay, I can hide here. If I go again, try in a playground. Can you help me with um, resources to build AI course for employees of Microsoft? Okay, that's Grammarly, it's okay. So it gave me an error. Can you see here? The invalid deployment, the API deployment, this like resource does not exist. So why it gave? Because we just deployed in 5 minutes, like 5 minutes ago, not within the 5 minutes, and it needs at least 5 to 10 minutes to reflect here. So if I try this in 5-10 minutes, certainly it'll give me right answers or maybe wrong answers. So this is a playground area which I was telling you guys. You can create an agent, you can play around, you can test everything. So this is what we wanted to test here. So 5 minutes or 10 minutes we have to wait to do this. Probably if we have some time after understanding the patterns, we can certainly come back and see that. Okay, this is like in last 5 minutes we have to wait. So I wanted to show you this because this is something, a playground, right? You wanted to have a playground, play around, change your instructions if you don't like it, and again update the knowledge base, and probably you can have some actions created. I was talking about actions. If I have some actions like code interpreter, OpenAI, Azure Logic Apps. Azure Logic Apps, we have something in the design patterns. I'll show you that. So I can use Azure Functions or Logic Apps to have some of the actions created. So the Logic App can trigger something and ensure that you get more output on it. Okay, having said that, let's jump onto the slide deck. Okay. So design patterns and the concepts. So the first concept within the design patterns which we are going to talk is about the RAG. Okay, so you would have heard about RAG a lot, right? What it does basically, it enhances the or enriches the responses of AI by getting or knowing the external knowledge. that is very important in a term where we want to have a right answers or the right written answers whenever we want to use the AI. For example, if you're using a chat GPT and if you don't give a right context to it, obviously it is going to fail in terms of returning you the right answer. So similarly, when I use different GPTs or maybe I would say LLMs, I need more data to be pushed so that it can understand. So here we have got Azure AI Search and Azure OpenAI, which will really help us. So in this particular example of pattern, you can see user really has got customer support and chatbot UI stuff is exist, and then it really goes to the OpenAI generative model and also the Azure search, where we have got external documents and enterprise documents, which will help the agent to be more precise in terms of returning an answer. So LLM will get right data, so it will help in there. Having said that, this is one of the design pattern. We'll also look into the multiple design patterns. As I've said earlier, there's a proactive goal creator. When we talk about proactive goal creator, it is something like autonomous generation of a new goals. For example, it could be a training institute, it could be an organization, it could be a school, it could be something where it sets up a new goal. You would have seen something, if you use the Apple Watch or maybe some fitness bands, you would have seen today you have achieved something great, and tomorrow you can achieve more. For example, you do 20,000 steps today, and tomorrow you would like to do 21,000 steps. That's something, a new goal setup. Similarly, here, autonomous generation of a new goals by AI agents is possible. So you can also do that. So that's a design pattern, what we are talking when we create an agent. So agent identifies the opportunities and it gives you more objects without any user prompts. It automated. So here, the sales agent is what I have tried writing. So we have used Azure AI Foundry multi-agent orchestration. There is a multi-agent framework exists on Azure AI Foundry. You can actually go through with that. It's all there in the Microsoft Learn page. I'll give you the resources later. But considering the fact we have got a sales agent here on my screen, so you are able to understand the autonomous sales agent has got a follow-up actions like it generate new goals to new prospects in the organization. Consider I'm a organization who sells Microsoft Azure, right? So I need to have a particular goal to increase the Azure spend and all of that with our customers. So it identify the opportunity, inactive stuff with my CRM or with my ERP, and then it ensures that it creates a logic out of which it sends an email to customer, it sends connects with a customer, it fixes the meetings with a customer. So this is like a proactive goal creator which you can have. This is also design pattern, one of the design pattern which is widely used, so you can also use in your examples. So passive goal creator, so that was proactive, wherein it identifies, it does everything, but sometimes you also need a passive stuff. So this particular aspect derives the goals automatically from user input or a system context. For example, there is a teacher sets a goal in a school for students, and probably it comes as an just an one single input from teacher, and it takes a pro it takes in a goal creator action by its own for students. Right here, the use case what we have got is support agent, like deducing the user needs from a chat messages and all the stuff. So this is something where a lot of user experience support is happening. There we get a lot of this kind of passive goal creators patterns. So this is where we have used Copilot Studio and the Dataverse. You would have seen the Copilot Studio in earlier session. The Dataverse exists here for the data, which is a best thing what one can have for a Copilot with a Copilot Studio as a combination. So if you look at that, support agent has got an interference into the chat like Copilot Studio, which where agent exists, and then it actually extract the actionable goals from a text or the data, and it sets up next steps for the task and execution. So it could be an external system or the API which does have got that particular task. It could be a learning system, it could be an emailing system, it could be anything. It could be an invoicing system also. When a support agent sells something, it could be an invoicing agent also. So that's possible. Having said that, let's understand the next pattern, that is a prompt and response optimizer. So prompt and response optimizers are like enhancing the output quality through like iterative self feedback. So you can understand when you have something in an organization. Consider, I have heard a lot of people saying we have used Copilot. We yet to be there, like, we are not at there because, the prompting is not that great. Correct? So some organizations, some of the employees don't know, or maybe they are still learning in terms of how effectively prompt. In that aspect, this particular framework or the pattern will really help a lot. So you will have an AI writing assistant which will give a right prompt for the needs of yours, where you can use that prompt with your AI and get the things done for yourself and for your organization. So that's where we have got the response optimizer pattern which could really help you. So having said that, this is a last pattern which I'm going to talk about, the single path planner generator, which has got AI agent planning, and from there to HR system, like, you have got an example of onboarding an employee which is very smooth and harmless. You have got onboarding system done by an AI, which is single path generator. That's awesome. Like, it's a step by step. Step one done. Step two is taken over. Step three will be done only after the step two. So that is how the single path plan generator will happen in terms of AI agent. I have got a couple of slides, but in the interest of the time, I would like to cover one last thing here. Okay. So this is very important in terms of understanding the human in the loop pattern. So many of you would encounter or anticipate human in the loop pattern for sure in your daily routine, where you would have to automate the AI, like things with an AI, or could be with the tools also. So you have Power BI in nature, you have got automated AI stuff. Like here, we have taken example of financial transaction approvals, which requires a manager approval sometimes or consent, right? In an organization, that's very common. So typically, it comes in the AI automated workflow. It identifies this is a financial approval, which requires some of the human intervention. So it goes to auto approve transaction, yes or no, like, critical or sensitive because it's a financial. Then it triggers an email, Microsoft Teams notification or the email to a manager, and then he reviews and approves it. The process again goes. So that's where the flow is being done. So you can actually use this kind of a design pattern and build a holistic way or the larger way or the new way of doing things, automating things with an AI agent. Having said that, I am all available on the internet. Like, you just Google my name, Lingaraj Benny, you get to connect with me on a LinkedIn or maybe on Instagram or maybe on an X platform. And I would like to conclude my session by saying that thank you all, and a special thanks to Mr. Kunal. He's a great mentor, he's a great trainer, and also he's a great community lead for MCTs, all MCTs in India. And thanks, Kunal, for arranging this for us. Over to you. Hello.
Hey, Lingaraj.
Yeah, I we are done.
So, thank you so much for this wonderful session, and we really enjoyed a lot. And yes, AI agents are amazing, tremendous. So that's all. And
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. So just give me a second. We are calling our next speaker.
So, um, if you have any questions, anyone has any questions, please do leave those comments, in a chat. We'll respond to those chats for sure. Plus, it's very easy, uh, when Neeraj and Himanshu were talking, it was shown, it was told that, learn by doing. So if you're a student, you get a credits on Azure. So sign up for free credits on Azure. If you're a working profession, you easily go get $200 of credits, probably 300 or 200. I don't know exactly, but you get that and log into Azure portal, create your own subscription, and then create your own resource of AI Foundry, and then create your own agent using the models available and play around. So that's something which you could really possibly do great thing for yourself. So I'm just here until the next presenter comes online and shares their screen. Uh, and if anyone has got any comments or anything, please let me know so that we can talk about it. Any questions in the okay. Okay. So meanwhile, if someone would like to learn more about this AI, you have got all the contents available in Microsoft Learn Hub. That's an AI learning hub, I would say. So you can say learn.microsoft.com/AI. Very simple. Learn.microsoft.com/AI. You just type in that, you're there. So it can be seen here also. Okay, you can. My screen is not shared, but yes,
Let me
most of
let
it.
me
Yeah, thank you. So okay. So this is the link, guys. If you would like to have a look at learn.microsoft.com/AI, you can go and check all of these. This is something great place to explore the AI aspects of anything you would like to do on AI. It could be anything. It could be not just on the agent. It could be on generative AI, open AI. You would like to build, play around, use any LLMs, the large language models, and fine tune them, use them. So it's all possible here. Um, and when I was talking about this possibilities, there's also a larger set of possibilities on my screen. If you look at it, that's a multi-agent collaboration. So you saw human intervention. This is also a good stuff. Probably you would have seen this in most of the YouTube videos or the N8N. People are using N8N multi-agents creation and all this stuff. And this is also possible with a multi-agent um, perspective here within the Microsoft Azure as well. Okay, so Azure AI Foundry gives you that aspect. Like on my screen, if you see, we have got cross-departmental coordination when there is a deal submission comes in. Like there is a sales agent, there's an orchestrator, technical agent who designs something on the product because it knows grounding of a product is being done for it. Uh, and we have got finance a team to ensure that BOM and BOQ is ready or not. We have got financial system constraints also loaded up there so that it is trained well. And sales, obviously, sales agent will have a CRM and data access wherein customer data comes in properly and sits there. So there is a shared task also, like task updaters, task in progress, and all this stuff would really taken care by agents. Imagine, you don't have to have a human there. everything. For example, there's a deal comes in, everything happens by its own. That's a pattern most of the organizations are trying to build, which could really build a smooth. There are POCs done. People have seen this working. This is a working model, but again, there could be an enhancements requirement, and this is very HLD design pattern. Okay, there could be, you should know what is going in the back end and all the stuff if you would like to do a lot of low level design aspect in there. Okay, so that's something which we have to know. That being said,
So thank you so much, Lingaraj, for this fantastic knowledge sharing session. We are really grateful to you for joining us at India MCT Marathon, and we really enjoyed a lot of learning on AI agent and design pattern.